Hey everyone, Dave, a fun video here for my Facebook. Sometime when I'm off, and have the morning free, I like to cook big breakfast, cook home fries and this kind of thing in a pan, and crisp them up real nice, get the heat high. Every time I do that, my wife complains I splash the stove up. So I say, you know what, I'm going to cook outside. I'm going to get something. And of course I have a propane grill, but it's up on the deck, and if I would cook up there, I would splash everywhere. So I said, I'm going to get one of these Coleman Stoves, and I could put it out like a little table in the yard, and I can make all the breakfast I want when the time comes. So yeah, it wouldn't be any fun just to go buy a new one. So if you look on Facebook, I don't know, I don't watch a lot of TV. So I like little projects, and I love this old vintage stuff sometimes, try to fix it up. So I already bought one that's actually a little bigger than this. And if you enjoy restoring things, like particularly something that runs on fuel, you'll enjoy this, and it's really not expensive. These are all over Facebook, Craigslist, everything. Usually less than 50 bucks. People leave the fuel in them and jam them all up. And it's a real study in how something works to do one of these. And I've never restored it before, but I know enough to get going and watch the videos. Just like I teach people stuff, someone's teaching me stuff on YouTube. It's liquid fuel. Now, I remember these lanterns, and I have a lantern. I have a couple lanterns. I have propane. I have the liquid fuel white gas ones. I have a kerosene one. These are just fun. This one, if you ever get one of these, flip it over. I can't do it now because it's burning. There's a date stamped in the metal underneath. This one is from 1984. The other one I bought is from 1978. And now I think these are all made in China. But back then, Wichita, Kansas. Coleman Company, been around for years. They still make the lanterns. The globe is only from China. But these, I think the entire stove is from China. So this is an old piece of American technology back then. Been around for years. Great history on the Coleman Company through the war years and everything. But if you're ever looking for a project and you'd like to restore something, I'll give you a brief on it. People usually leave fuel in these and they jam up and then they don't work. So if you buy one, assume that it doesn't work and you're going to have to fix it, particularly these older ones. Now what I did was people leave fuel in it, just dump the fuel out. If you're new at anything that runs on liquid fuel like gasoline or whatever, never leave fuel in any of your lawn mowers, snow blowers, or whatever. Always at the end of the season run it out. This runs on white gas, and I remember when I was younger that you could run them on gasoline. But the problem is now with the alcohol in gasoline, it's not going to operate right and may deteriorate it. But back then, when there was leaded gas, Amoco was the only one that didn't have lead in it, so you could use Amoco gas or Coleman fuel. The fuel I used in this actually now is sold at Walmart, comes out of Mexico, white gas. It was 7 something a gallon. So considering gasoline's pushing close to $4, it was a deal, I thought. So keep some handy. Now, just to let you know how this works, when you first light this valve here goes up. So, I know on the lanterns, the older ones, this used to clean the tubing and stuff. But the way this works is, there's like a tube, a brass tube that goes down into the tank. And it's similar to a motorcycle reservoir. When this is up, it's drawn from the upper part of what's into this tank, or the air. There's air, so it's grabbing fumes, and then once it burns for a while, it burns clean. You push it down, and it grabs the liquid fuel. Now, liquid fuel's not going to burn like this, clean like this, and this is on low. So the liquid fuel comes in, and if you notice, see if I can zoom in on it, the fuel line runs through the flame. And why would that be? because it's turning the liquid fuel coming in from the tank into a gas. And that tube gets hot enough that when the liquid fuel goes past it, it turns into a gas and goes and comes in through here and burns. That's why when you first light it, it doesn't burn as efficient like this. But if you get a propane torch and heat it up, you could speed that process up. And this, there's a long rod that goes through here, and at the end it has a little pinhole. And it, see, crank it up, turn it down, whatever. The bigger, this is really a small one. The one I have is a little bigger. I think they may have shrunk them over the years. Okay, now there's the second burner. How does that second burner work? So there's a little thing over here you turn. I just love this primitive. This is old primitive stuff, right? Now you have to light it. I don't have a torch here. So it takes some of the gas here and turns it. And it's just a little simple device. Now, how do they do that? There's a washer, a reducer under this one that causes some back pressure that would push it over here. And there's not a reducer here. So it's basically a washer under there. The pump is, you know, I got lucky. The pump is still good. You pull these little clamps out. Then there's like a neoprene. Some of the older ones actually had some leather. You know, and you pump it up, send it in there. It's kind of cool. So now, see, it'll go way up. So when I bought it, it didn't work, same as the other one. I really didn't want this one, but I called the woman, and she said, well, somebody's going to look at it. I said, well, if they don't, I'll buy it. You know, they're less than 50 bucks you on the internet here. You know, 30 bucks, 20 bucks, something. But they don't work, so you got to know how to do this. So when she called, I said, I told her, and then I went and got it. And I knew if everything was here, I could restore it and fix it. You just have to take it apart, that's all. So, now when I go to make breakfast, when I have time off, I'll go out in the yard and I'll just splash the hell out of everything out there. Making my own fries or whatever. But it's a fun project. I always like having a project going. Antique old stuff, fix it up, you know. You can turn it way down. So I'm going to just run it till it's empty. And I worked on it for I think 2 hours. Make sure I did it right. So that's how this works. And what's funny is I'm actually touching that tube. It won't carry the heat. There's a big long spring in there also. A metal spring that acts like a heat transfer of some sort. When the liquid fuel, remember you're turning liquid into gas. And it all happens right there. They call it the generator. Right over that flame. Until it gets hot enough, then it burns clean. Alright, that's my little fun video, little project that now I got 2 of these, so I don't know what I'll do with the second one. But you know, now I got something I'll have to experiment with when I cook. If you ever you know, play with one of these, let me know. The kerosene lantern I have is really fun because you have to prime it with denatured alcohol to heat the generator up. Now with a kerosene lantern, you need more pressure to get that running. But fun project, something fun to do other than watch TV. All right, hope you all enjoyed it, and thanks for following some of my fun Facebook stuff.